Welcome to my channel where we use wellness techniques to help you downregulate your nervous system, balance out your nervous system, and overcome stress and anxiety from our fast-paced world. So thank you so much for being here. We talk a lot about breathing and wellness and those types of topics. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. Today is a special lesson, 'tis the season, and as we're coming to the end of the year, I usually am working with all my private clients on reflection and resolutions and also setting goals, looking to what they want to achieve in the next year. What I really like about the tool I'm going to share with you today, the activity that I'm going to move you through, is that we tend to really be in this super fast-paced society, world we're living in. There's so many things, and we don't take time to reflect. In fact, I've heard it said that at the end of people's lives, sometimes the thing that they regret the most is that they didn't slow down and reflect on their life and the ups and downs. And so that's what we really get to do in this activity. Yes, I want to help you move for a vision for your new year, for a focus, for having some clear goals and aspirations, but it's really important to take this time, this season, to slow down and reflect. So we have a wonderful plotting activity where you'll go through each month and plot your above the line experiences and your below the line experiences. This is so valuable for you to kind of like take that step back and look at your year on a plot, on a graph, on a chart, where you can see these highs and lows. And sometimes my clients say, wow, I did so much. I didn't even remember all the amazing things we did. Or wow, I can't believe I went through that and I made it through that. That was such a hard and dark and challenging season for me. And so it allows you to kind of see your year, reflect back on it. That's the first part of the activity that we'll do today. And then there's other parts. So it's 5 parts. And what I want you to do right now, if you're really interested in moving along with me during this lesson today, I want you to pause the video, because in the description, I have put a link in there that will bring you to a page where I can email you this whole PDF. So you can use it for this year, and you can come back to this video and there'll be an updated one every year. So no matter when you watch this video, you will be able to have a guide to go along with you. So pause this video, go ahead and print up that PDF or save it so you can follow along with the activities. It is really self-explanatory. I put directions in there, so it should be really easy for you if you can't go through the whole lesson with me to just stop, print it now. I have no problem with that, and use it for yourself for later. Save it for yourself to go through. If you're another coach, go ahead and use this with your client. My clients have found it really helpful, and I'm here to share my experience and help you grow, help myself grow, help whoever's here at BreatheWell Coaching grow. So I hope that you find it a really nice activity. This year, I'm going to move through this activity with my husband. I always do it alone, but this year I'm going to do it with my husband. Shh, he doesn't know yet. As a family activity, so that we can kind of be on the same page with how we experienced last year and also what we're looking forward in our next year with our family. And I think that's going to be really nice. I've been able to collaborate with many of my clients to do this, and I can see the value in collaborating with someone. So if you're interested and you need a coach, I do offer a free coaching session. I'll also have a link for that in the description. At this time, I offer a free coaching session. I don't know how long I'll be able to have the capacity to do that, but if you want that free coaching session, go ahead and go down. In the link, there'll be a discovery call so you can book on my schedule that free session. Maybe you just need somebody to help you through maybe just a part of this activity today, and I would be more than glad to walk you through it, collaborate with you. So enough said, let's get into the lesson. I'm really, really excited. As you can tell, I think if you take the time to do this with me, or if you even set aside some time to work through it later, which you might have to for some of the assignments in this lesson, then you're gonna find a lot of value from it. So there's just so much insight you can get from slowing down, assessing, taking a step back, looking at it non-judgmentally, non-critically, but with love, and trying to learn and glean any lessons that you can that you might have missed if you hadn't slowed down and done a reflection before you jumped into your New Year's resolutions or goals, aspirations, all of that. So let's get into that lesson today. Okay, if you went in and you followed the link, you got a copy of your PDF, you have it printed up or you have it saved on your phone, it's going to look like this. So this year is 2023. If you're watching this in the future, hello future people, I'll be updating it each year. So this can be timely for the year that you're doing it. So we're going to start with a reflection. I call the whole activity a reflection, even though the end we are trying to move more towards setting goals. So the first step is this beautiful step here. Is if you've never done your wellness wheel, it'd be really nice for you to start with your wellness wheel. So all you're doing is you're kind of giving yourself a 0 to a 5 in each area. There's a small little description about that area. 0 is going to be you're not feeling like you're very balanced in that area. You're not thriving. You're struggling a little bit. And then a 5 is going to be, and there's no perfect. So perfection is impossible. We're just looking for, balance and that we're feeling well. Well is not perfect, so we're feeling well in that area. So let's just take an example. You've had a really strong professional year in your occupation. You're doing really well. You're happy. You feel valued, all those things. So that would be a 5. So you'd give yourself a 5 here. Go through, do that. You can pause it here if you're going along with me. Take your time. I'm not rushing you. So that's the way to start. Then we're going to kind of use the wellness wheel as a filter. It helps us move through this next exercise in a way that you will kind of want to make sure you're hitting all those areas. What was happening for you in January last year in your occupation, in your physical health, in your intellectual health, in your emotional health, all the different areas of your well-being. So it gives you kind of that filter to look through. So you have this plot here. Hello? You have this plot here, and it goes from January, the year that we're in now, so January 2023, all the way to December 2023. And what I want you to do is I want you to use anything you have. So your calendar, your cell phone. I used my cell phone and kind of went through pictures, and I used my calendar on my cell phone to go through and see what I was doing professionally. Email can be another way for you to sift through your last January. And then just kind of take moments to close your eyes and think about where you were last January. For some of us, that can be very hard. So I used a lot of my photos in my phone. But I want you to take some time, go through each month, and you're going to write down your above the line experiences and your below the line experiences. So what are you celebrating from that month? What was really exciting? Where did you have some achievements, some successes? And then what were some of your challenges? Even if you had lessons that were valuable lessons that were learned from these challenges, I still want you to be honest and transparent and just write them all out here. Now you might want to do this if you have a lot going on. You might do 1 page for each month, okay? And you can just put a line here in the middle and say like December 2023, and then do above the line, below the line, everything that happened. I'm going to let you use your creativity to figure out the best way to do this. I can tell you when I do these with my clients, the whole page is just full of all these different experiences. And usually the response I get is, wow, I had no clue I did so much last year, that I totally forgot about that. That was so awesome. It was so fun. I learned a ton, and it's just like, it's such a great thing to do. All right, so don't miss this step. If you just want to stop there, that's fine. That could be what you do this year. But if you want to go further and take your time to do that, if you need to pause this video, then do it and then come back. It might take a little bit of time, and that's okay. Usually when I do this activity with my clients, I start in November, and I will start to layer in these different activities at each session so that we can put it all together at the end of the year. And sometimes this activity even goes into January. So it's okay if you're watching this video and it's January and you're just doing it now. I mean, it's the fresh new year, so this is a great time to do it. So I'm totally fine with this activity happening really any time of the year, but November to January is probably the best time frame in my opinion. Step 2. So if you're moving along with me, we're on step 2. And step 2 just gives you some directions for unlocking profound insights. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go through on the next page a reflection question. So it takes the plotting that you just did, and then it just is going to ask you a few questions about that. So here's the questions. What were your top 5 accomplishments? What did you do well? How can next year be better? What were your biggest lessons? What are you grateful for? The hardest thing about this year was what I need/want to improve. So you go through and you do these reflection questions, and you just kind of go a little deeper into processing the year behind you. Step 3. So now we're into an expressive writing portion of this activity. So step 3, we're going to start to write a 2-part letter. So when we do expressive writing, the idea of expressive writing is not to have great grammar, not to sound even super eloquent, at least at first. It's to get a fluid train of thought, allowing your emotions to kind of come up and come out. So these can be long letters that maybe won't be your final draft. If you really want to go back through and formalize your expressive writing, then that's fine. But for the first time you write about this and you write this letter to yourself, write it unfiltered from your heart. Okay, so you're going to write a letter to my past self. Reflecting on the past year, I invite you to compose a letter addressed to your past self in 2023. Use expressive language to convey your thoughts and experiences from your heart and from your current perspective. Share what you've learned overall, offer advice or insight about your varied experiences, express your sense of accomplishment, and impart any guidance or words of encouragement you'd like to convey to your past self. Be kind if you can, but be honest, Remember, the initial version doesn't have to be formal. You can always refine and formalize the letter once you've completed this personal expressive writing exercise. The next part, so the part 2 of this letter, is now you're going to start to move forward. And think of this as visualization, having that vision, starting to think about your aspirations and goals. And I want this to be unfiltered too. So take some time, start to write a letter to your future self. So think about how you want to feel in the next year. So the next time you look at this activity, maybe doing it again next year, how would you want to feel? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? So it says here, looking ahead to the future, I encourage you to engage in expressive writing by composing a letter addressed to your future self. For this year, for me, it's going to be a future self letter for me in 2024. So be honest in communicating your hopes and dreams. Dream big. Don't try to box in your dreams here. It's okay. Be grand with your dreams. That's what it's all about. What aspirations do you possess from your current perspective? Share what you anticipate learning or experiencing in the coming year, or offer advice based on the past, what you've experienced in your past. Express your vision and the steps. This is important. Write out some of the steps you think it might take you to achieve your goals. Convey any words of encouragement or guidance you wish to impart in your future self. And remember, this is just a rough draft. You can formalize this letter later if that's something you want to do. And you might not want to do that. That's okay too. So step 4, and this is optional. Sometimes my clients don't want to do it. Sometimes people really like this. But step 4 would be a vision board. Now, I just put 4 boxes here, and you could just have 4 pictures. That could be your visual representation of your goals, the aspirations, what you want to happen in the new year. Some people like to think of it like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So you can think of it that way. Some people like to think of it seasonally. So that's why I did put 4 boxes. But I also want to give you another recommendation, is you could go through and write or find an image for each area of your wellness wheel. That's an option too. And I've had clients who really enjoy doing that. So be creative here on your vision board. This doesn't give you a lot of space. So I don't know, unless you're drawing stick figures like my 2nd grader, you might want to get yourself a poster board and create a real vision board. I also have people who do vision boards just on a Word document or a Canva. I use Canva a lot for some of to create this. So you can do it digitally as well. But create that vision board so you have a visual representation. So there's some research behind this about how it helps the mind to achieve that goal more easily, and overcome barriers more easily if we do things like vision boards. So there's a lot of science behind it as to why it is effective. I'm not going into all of that today, but if you're a little on the fence about whether or not you want to do that activity, do a quick search. How effective are vision boards? What's the science behind it? And I think you'll be surprised to find out that they are really effective. So it could be a really good way, if you've never done a vision board, to just do a small one in this activity. Step 5, and thank you for your patience. We're almost there. I appreciate you taking time for yourself. It's not about me right now. So I appreciate you taking time for yourself, and I think it's important for you to maybe even take a moment to acknowledge that you're actually going to do this type of activity this year, and that's really cool. That's really exciting. So I just wanted to kind of like pause, give you a moment to celebrate that. So the next step is choose a word. This choose a word is where this whole activity came from. I've been choosing a word for a while now. This year, my word, I already know, is it's going to be balanced. It was kind of, I'm a spiritual person, I'm a Christian, and that word balance was given to me. So balance is my word. Last year, my word was enrich. I was really leveling up in a lot of different areas and expanding myself. This year, it's like, okay, balance, find that foundation, find that way to be a great mom, be a great business owner, be a great wife, take care of my body, take care of my mind, all those things, take care of my health in a balanced way. Last year, I was more focused on my profession and building. So that's really cool. And I can see that that word was like this guiding force for me throughout the year. It was really neat at the end of the year to look back and say, I had an enriching year. I enriched a lot of people's lives. I felt like I enriched myself, and I got a lot of different certifications last year and those types of things. So this year, I want, at the end of the year, I really want to be able to, with my word balance, I want to be able to be like, wow, I balanced it all really well. So that for me is going to be more boundaries, saying no, putting the phone away at night when I probably have work to do, but I need to be with my family. So those are kind of that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be working on this year. So the final thing I just put on here was from my family to yours, Happy New Year. I love this time of year. We get to learn some stuff about how we maybe want to change and we want to pivot almost. So that's good. It's like this new energy. And I think of all these, I just have like so much excitement at this time of year, and I hope you feel that way too. I hope you feel hopeful. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel joy and all those amazing things that we get to experience in life. And if you've had a really hard year and you've never worked with a wellness coach, it's such a cool experience. A private coach it's unique to each person. So whatever you're dealing with, and most of my clients are dealing with stress and anxiety. So whatever you're dealing with, and that kind of covers a lot, right? A wellness coach helps you, like hold you accountable to what you say you're going to do, what you say you want to change. So for me specifically, I'm a behavior change specialist. So I really do help people figure out what it is that they need to do in these different areas of their well-being, okay? Which again is pretty broad. And then I help them achieve those goals. And I'm pretty good at my job. So if you're interested in working with a private coach, go ahead and book that discovery call. Like I said at the beginning of this talk today, book that discovery call. Right now it's complimentary, and we can have a 30-minute session. Maybe we go through this together quickly, or maybe you have something else you want to talk through. So I'm here for you, and make sure you like and subscribe this button, share it with a friend. Thank you for being here. Any comments or suggestions you have, please let me know. And have a for me, Merry Christmas. For everybody else, or whatever you celebrate, happy holidays and a happy new year. Have a great day and breathe well.